Hello, hello. Coming out with me while I do some makeup. Okay, so I'm gonna be doing some makeup today, obviously. I already have my color corrector on. It's the one from Becca. My brows are obviously partially done already, and I'm just using the ABH brow pomade. And on my lips, while I get ready, I'm just wearing the Bare But There lip oil from Blend Bunny, and it's in the shade Love Bite. So it's a Sunday afternoon of a long weekend. I'm not sure if you'll be able to tell behind me, but we are getting slammed with snow in Canada. Who'd have thought?
Huh? Who would have thought? Not me.
So my boyfriend and I are just gonna have a little date night in. I thought I'd still get cute and put some makeup on. I'm thinking I'll do something a little more low coverage and comfy for the face, but we'll still do something smoky for the eyes. And I'm gonna use the ABH Norvina palette today. All right, so we're ready to go. I forgot to mention I did also prime my skin. I used the Maybelline Baby Skin just here, and I used the Tarte Quench Hydrating Primer just around the rest of my face because I am a dry bitch. So for foundation, I'm just going in with the NYX Born to Glow. And I'm not wanting too much, so I'm just gonna kind of splotch it all over my face like that for now. And then just go in with my sponge. You'll have to let me know as a viewer if you kind of prefer like these full face type of photos, or if you're only really interested in seeing me like do an eye look with certain palettes or something. When I watch videos, I personally am mostly just interested in seeing like creative eye looks with different palettes. That's what I'm into. But I feel like some of the videos will be pretty short if I just do like a quick smoky eye. So yeah, I figured I would do a full face today. For concealer, I'm just going in with the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Concealer. And I'm just gonna pop that under my eyes and in the center of my forehead. And I feel like I didn't really put a lot on, but the shade's also not that bright. So I'm gonna go in with this Cover FX Power Play Concealer too, just because it's pretty brightening. A little plop. Holy. So the day I'm filming this, or maybe it was yesterday, but today is the day I saw Blend Bunny's new palette that they're releasing. I forget what it's called, I'll put it on the screen, but it's like a mermaid theme, and it looks sexy. I want to pick it up. So now I'm just going to do a light dusting of the e.l.f. Sheer Loose Powder. Pretty sure this was like a free gift with purchase at some point, because I don't really buy powders that often. But it's fine. It does the job. And I'm just setting kind of underneath the eye so it doesn't crease, and then just the center of my face, really. For bronzer, I'm also using one from e.l.f. It's called Forever Sunkissed. I think it's their primer infused bronzer. And I do like this one. It doesn't look super warm. I feel like it's a little bit more of a neutral color, which I do like. And I'm just gonna pile that on. I just realized my gnarly little bruise is showing. It's just from a hockey game the other day. You should have seen the other guy. So for blush, I'm kind of torn between these two. They're from ColourPop. One is called Potted, and the other one's called Just My Pluck. Super cute. So this is what they look like. This one is Potted and this is Just My Pluck. So I was thinking with the Norvina palette, I wanted to primarily use like these 4 shades here for the look. So I'm just not sure. I'll probably go for the lighter blush. So it'd either be like this combo or this combo. And I don't know if either of those are actually a good option. I almost feel like I should go with a warmer blush because of this shade here. But I already reached for those two, so I think I'll just mix them together and see how they look. So this might not have been the best color to go directly under the eyes with. I do like to do that with my blush sometimes. But this might be a little too like pinky berry and is making me look a little sick. But we'll just move on, and maybe I'll try to cover it up later with a very heavy, smoky lash line, and we'll see if we can fix it. And why not just add more blush in the meantime? Oh, yep. Let's do a little on the forehead, because why not? Just blush my entire face. And I'll just go back over it with my bronzer brush, just to hopefully soften that a little bit. It doesn't look as harsh in my mirror to the side here, but in my mirror behind my phone/camera, it's stark. She's stark, but that's okay. We're just gonna move on. I'm not leaving the house anyway, and Bradley has to love me for me at this point, so. All right, so I think I'm gonna pick a highlighter after we're finished with the whole look, just so we don't repeat the blush situation, and I can pick something that matches. So we'll just jump into the eyes. Again, as I mentioned, we're gonna be using the ABH Norvina palette today. And as I mentioned, I wanna use this kind of quad right here. I'll maybe like dabble into these just to brighten it up, but these will be the focus of today. So I'll just start by priming my eyes with the Urban Decay eyeshadow primer potion in Eden. All right, so I'm gonna go in with the shade Base to start with, and I'm just gonna put it under my brow bone just to kind of brighten that area. You could do this as like a last step too, but sometimes I like doing it first, just to make sure that it ends up getting kind of blended out when I put all the crease shades in. And I don't know if that really did much in the way of brightening because I am pale, but that's okay. And this shade is relatively deep, at least for me, the shade Eccentric. So I'm gonna start with Incense first, just so Eccentric has something a little bit lighter to blend into, and hopefully it won't be as harsh. And I don't want too much. I kind of just want like a light wash, just because I don't want this shade to take over the look. I want the other shades to be the focal point. So there have been a ton of releases that have come out, especially like indie releases for Valentine's Day. Blend Bunny had like a pinky palette. Gourmand Girls had a really pretty palette. Odin's Eye had the collab. I feel like these indie brands are just going off lately and I can't keep up. I want everything and I can afford none of them. But I've loved seeing other creators' looks with some of the palettes. I'd love to know if you guys are picking up any of them or if you already have. I feel like there haven't really been a lot of like mainstream brands releasing at least eyeshadows for Valentine's Day. Maybe like pink themed blushes, but I feel like that's less exciting. But I am kind of surprised. I feel like they're missing out because those types of releases are getting really hyped up. And I forgot to mention, but you could probably just see that I'm taking the shade Incense under my eyes too. Okay, so I think I'm going to do Eccentric mostly in the front half, but I might carry it towards the outside, like on the top. And then I'm going to do the shade Passion in the outer corner, and then I might bring it a little bit in to mesh with Eccentric. And I'm going to find a new brush that doesn't scratch the shit out of my eyes. Gotta love old Morphe brushes. So I'm just going in with the shade Passion now, and I'm just gonna plop it on the outside there. Just to get the pigment down first, and then I'm gonna kind of blend it out as we go. And I'm just gonna wing the shape out a little bit. I don't want the shape to completely get away from me, but I like a little wing shape. And I'm going to take this shade under my eyes as well. And since I didn't put any primer there, just powder, I'm going to do more like dotting motions and not swiping motions. Again, just so the pigment really sticks there instead of kind of swiping it all over the place. I feel like this kind of wing shape is looking a little messy, so I'm just going to blend it out with a little bit of eccentric. And hopefully we can fix that. And it's becoming a little too winged out for what I want, so I'm just going to go back in with the shade Incense and then try to blend that out a little bit. I feel like it's starting to look a little muddy, but if I just kind of smoke it out, maybe we can just call it grungy and leave it at that. I think to try and fix it, I'll go back in with Passion and just try to intensify that shade, but keep it more contained. That will either help fix it or make it a muddy disaster. We'll hope for the first one. And I think I like that. And then I will go back in with Eccentric, just in like the front half again, just to intensify that shade as well. I feel like so far the look is giving me Sexy Bruise vibes. So I'm going to go in with Dazzling in the front portion, and I'm just going to use my finger, just because I feel like that's a good way to apply shimmer shades for the most part. And I'm just going to plop that on. Perfect. And the shade feels very soft. It almost feels like velvety. And then I'm going to go in with the shade Drama on the outer half of the lid, just next to the shade Dazzling that we put down. The shade is a lot deeper and a lot less sparkly, but I feel like it'll look really sultry, and I like how deep it is. And it's looking a little splotchy there, but I'll kind of blend that out in a second. I actually feel like I want this to take over a little bit more of the lid, just to make it a little bit more of a smoky look. So I took it in a little further, and then I'm going to go back in with the shade Dazzling, just to kind of marry the two shimmers a little bit more. I'll just keep going kind of back and forth with both. Alright, I'm liking how it's looking so far. So I'm just going to take the brush that I had the shade Passion on. I'm not going to go in with any more of that shade just yet. I just want to kind of blend out the shimmer here and make it a little bit more seamless. These shimmers are pretty soft, so I feel like it kind of worked pretty easily. I didn't really have to finesse it too much, which is nice. I feel like this little spot here is bothering me, so I'm going to try and blend it out with the Incense, and hopefully we can soften that as well. And then I'll just match the other side, even though it was fine. And I'm just going to go back in again with a little bit more of Eccentric, just because I feel like we kind of lost it with the shimmers, because I really want that kind of warm brown to show through. And I'm blending it pretty high, like right up to the brow, just because we're going for kind of a smoky or grungy look anyway. I kind of like that effect. And I'm kind of just going over everything now for one last little blend, just to make sure it looks smooth. I feel like this lid looks a little darker than this lid, so I'm going to go in with just a touch more Drama. Now this eye, I feel like looks more sparkly than this one, even though it's probably the same. So I'm going to go with a little bit more Dazzling on this side. And we're going to see how many times we can go back and forth before I'm satisfied.
The limit does not exist.
All right, I think that looks good. I'm just debating for the inner corner, either using Dreamer, I feel like is kind of the obvious choice, but I also feel like it might be fun to use the shade Wild Child. So I think I'll start by using this pinky shade on the inner part of the lower lash line, and if I don't love it, I might use Dreamer on the actual inner corner. So I do like that effect, I just don't think it's quite bright enough. So I am going to go in with that Dreamer shade on just a tiny little brush here. And I'm going to put that on the inner corner. And I'm just putting a little hint of it under the brow bone too, just to make that a little brighter than what it was. I don't think that first matte shade really did much. Alright, so I think that's pretty much going to be the eye look. It's pretty simple, but I feel like nice and smoky. I like how it's looking. So I'm going to find something to put in my waterline. I'll put on some mascara and lashes, and I'll come back to finish up with the lips. Alright, so I thought I'd pop in here just to show you the look so far, just while the lash glue is drying. I went in with the Urban Decay eye pencil in the shade Voodoo in the waterline. I really wanted to play off the deep purples, even though I feel like a lot of the look just looks like brown at this point. And yeah, I obviously have the mascara on just so you can see how it looks without the lashes. I'm extra though, so I'm going to put lashes on. But yeah, this is the look so far. I really like it. I feel like it's nice and smoky, a little bit grungy. So yeah, I'm going to put the lashes on and then I'll be back in just a second for us to do the lip together. Alright, so lashes are on. I went in with the Lashaholic lashes in the style Stunner. I got these in PR. This inner corner was fighting with me quite a bit, so if you could see it throughout the video, just know that it's annoying me more than it's annoying you. For the lips, I wasn't really sure if I wanted to pull in the warmth from this part of the eye look or just go full send with the pink and purple cheeks. So I actually decided to kind of recreate a combo I did for one of my last looks on Instagram. I really liked how it looked. It was a little more grungy and it leaned on the kind of purpley side, so I thought it should work, especially with my cardigan that I'm wearing. The lip liner that I'm going to go in with is called Grunge Girl from ColourPop. So I'm just going to start by lining the lips. But first... Oh. Well, I tried to make it good. And it's going to be too hard to talk while I'm doing this, but I'm going to slightly overline my top lip since I don't have one, and then I'll just normally line the bottom lip. Oh, quick sharpen first. Pro tip would be to wipe off the lip oil you're wearing so it doesn't make the liner super creamy. Hopefully it doesn't smear and smudge everywhere. So now I'm going to brighten up the center with this matte lipstick. It's from their Bailey Sarian collab and it's in the shade Judith. So it's a very stark color, but I'm just going to pop it in the center and then blend it with the next lipstick. So for the liquid lipstick, I'm going to go in with Flirt from Unearthly Cosmetics. And I'm just going to go back in once more with a little bit more of Judith. Bradley, yeah. Can you get me a Kleenex? Look at that service. Shy Bradley.
For your teeth.
It's only like one tooth. I'm just gonna leave it on my teeth. All right, so I think we are finish with the lips. Alright, so that's the look. I feel like the lips kind of worked with the blush. I feel like the look came together, and I'm happy with how it turned out. I'll give you a little close-up here. I did forget to put a highlight on, but I feel like I don't really love the blush or cheeks that much anyway. And again, I'm not leaving the house, so whatever. But yeah, I really like how it turned out. I hope you like the look as well. Let me know what you think. If you have this classic, I encourage you to also pull it out and do a fun look with it. Anyway, I hope you guys are having a good evening. Thanks so much for clicking on the video and hanging out with me today. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye!